I was just thinking about the most beautiful experience of a dream that I've ever had. And I was not walking with the Lord when He gave it to me, even though I did believe on Him as Savior as a little girl. I wasn't raised up in it. I wasn't taught that He stayed with me. But evidently He did. So anyway, it was probably a year, maybe two, before I got born again. But yet I knew that I knew that I knew this dream was from God. And when I woke up, I just couldn't believe it was a dream. It was so real, more real than life. It really did seem that way. But when I did get born again, and I was in His Word every day, the very first time I read 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, the last few verses, my first time reading it at the kitchen table, I felt the presence of the Lord. And I don't remember hearing Him tell me to go get my notebook that I wrote the dream in, but I knew to go do it. And to my surprise, when I opened and started reading the dream that I had written there, I realized that I forgot that it was actually two dreams. Okay, so the first dream, I'm outside. I think I'm in Florida. That's where I'm raised. Was raised. and it's just a beautiful day. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's perfect. The sky is so blue. The trees are so green. It was just so beautiful outside. And to my surprise, I hear a loud, very loud thunder. And you usually hear thunder when the weather's perfect. It was really loud. And actually, that was the second dream. That was the second dream. The first dream had very little details, and it was very, very short. And simply put, I saw the blue sky turn dark black 2 times, just a couple seconds apart. And I was left standing there saying out loud while looking up into the blue sky, what in the world was that? Well, the second dream started off the exact same way. I'm outside, it's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. The sky's so blue, so beautiful. And I hear the thunder. Big, loud, roaring thunder. I see clouds as far to the left and right as I could see, just black and dense, roll out of heaven all the way down to the ground. And I felt the earth shift, and then the clouds rolled back up and disappeared into the blue sky. A couple seconds later, maybe, the exact same thing happened. I hear loud thunder, clouds, the most dense black you could ever imagine, rolling all the way down to the ground. And I felt the earth shift the opposite direction, and then we started going up in the cloud. The black clouds were carrying us up, and we all reached out with our hands and took a hold of each other's hand. And when we did, that's when we went up really super fast. I remember feeling the rush of it and everything. And I felt the most beautiful anticipation in the air. And because I didn't know the Bible when I was given this dream, I didn't really know what was about to happen. I didn't realize we were about to see the Lord. I didn't know. I didn't understand any of that yet. But in the dream, I definitely felt the most beautiful anticipation, like something absolutely wonderful was about to happen, probably the most wonderful thing ever. But instead I woke up, and I was not happy about that. Not at all. And I was stunned that it was a dream. But I remember one more thing going through my mind before I prayed. I remember hearing and understanding what the thunder said to us. And evidently we all did with our spirit. But I didn't understand it with my mind until I was waking up out of the dream. And I heard what the thunder said to us. It was the voice of the Lord saying, "Take a hold of a living hand." I just laid there, even though I knew that I was awake and that it was a dream. I just laid there with my eyes closed, hoping to go back into that feeling and all of it. And all I could say, because I absolutely knew 100% sure God gave me that dream. I don't even know why I was so sure. I just was sure. I literally was not walking with Him yet. Was not in the Word, was not in church. I never heard of the rapture. None of that. But my question was, God, is this a dream about the end of the world? And then I said, God, am I supposed to tell people about this dream, or am I not supposed to tell people about this dream? I don't even remember writing it down. I don't remember thinking about it again after that. But I think of it quite often now, and I'm just amazed, truly amazed how I could feel the presence of the Lord so strong as I read those few verses for the first time. It was just amazing, because really that I realize that's Him answering my questions. But because of the dream, I've pretty much known that it would happen in my days. I would live to see it happen. I have no idea if it will be exactly like I dreamt it or not. But I was just listening to a brother's video today that came through the news feed, that he actually published, I think it was 2008, if I'm not mistaken. And he was given a dream of the rapture, and it was during Christmas season. Maybe that's why I've been thinking about it so much. But so many believers are talking about that on YouTube now, and who knows if it will be this year, but there's reasons to believe it could. The main reason why I believe it could, I'm excited. I can tell my heart's a little guarded because I've been disappointed through the years, but it's exciting, the potential of it happening this year. It's just so exciting, and so I just really wanted to share that. Trying to think of that brother's name, but that's not the only person that I've heard through the years mention a Christmas rapture. And I remember reading a comment beneath a video years ago that was telling about a dream they had, and that they were allowed to come back immediately after the rapture, and that all the power was down, and they were in a house. They have no idea whose house it was, but they were in a house that was pretty dark, no electricity except for the light that was coming in through the living room window. Were they able to see the dining room table fully showing a turkey dinner, and not one bite had been taken yet, and not one soul was left in the house. I think that's really amazing. They said they did see some Christmas decorations, so, it could have been Christmas. It may have been Thanksgiving. But if it's going to happen this year, it definitely wasn't Thanksgiving. So, just preparing our hearts and forgiving one another and understanding that the Lord is delighted when we choose the things that please Him. And sometimes we may not know what that thing is, but as long as we're working on it and praying on it and hoping for direction in it, I think He's pleased with that too. But anyway, I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we will see each other in the air, to meet the Lord in the air very soon. I just now thought of something else that happened. I think it was in 1999. Pretty sure it was. And it was at a church that I had never been to before, I don't think. I think it was at least one of my first times going to this particular church. And the man of God, he was a powerful preacher. And he actually started giving me a word of knowledge at one point, as he was toward the end of service ministering to different people. And but the thing I remember him saying to me that day was to do with December 25th. I mean, this was a long time ago, and I still don't know for sure what the Lord was referring to, but this man was a proven prophet, and I do believe it was from the Lord. But included in what he had said to me that day was December 25th will turn to be the greatest day thou hast ever lived. Wait, I'm sorry. He said December 25th will turn to be the greatest day thou hast ever lived. And when I think about those words, I think, what could be better than the rapture? Honestly, I can't think of one thing. So, I mean, I just think it's interesting that he said turn. Oh, and he did say the words this year. December 25th this year will turn to be the greatest day thou hast ever lived. And I mean, really, in the spirit, there is no time. And I think that's why so many of us believers think it's any day now. Especially if you spend time in His Word. It just is so timeless. And it makes you feel like you're about to see Him any day. And I've experienced that for many years. But it's such a beautiful, blessed hope. It will happen. The Lord will not be late. He will be right on time. As we know. So, my hopes are high. My hopes are high. There is a prophet on YouTube that a link was sent to me by two different sisters that live in Texas that do not know each other. And that's very rare that anyone sends me a link. I mean, I send them, but every once in a while I'll get one or two from people periodically, but this was about a year and a half ago. Two sisters sent the same link to me, and it was a prophet that I had never heard before. And what's really wild about that is that night I did not listen to it. The next day I did listen to it. And I could feel the Lord's presence really strong. And it was so beautiful. I literally couldn't hardly stop crying. And I had never heard anybody prophesy so long. And he was not shy. And all the beautiful things that were being said. I mean, I was just crying and boo-hooing. It just felt so beautiful and real. And then he said, you have 4 more years. Then I started crying for a different reason. But times I wonder about that. And if it doesn't happen this year, then it'll be another couple years, I guess. But I think it's interesting too that it was Christmas season, I believe. No, it couldn't have been. No, it wasn't Christmas season, it was New Year's. That was his New Year's message of 2020. But anyway, what's really bizarre is his name is Kent Christmas. Really? I'm just blown away sometimes by all this stuff. But we shall see. We shall see the Lord right on time. And hopefully it's this Christmas. If it's this Christmas, I don't know who he would have been talking to in that video, but anyway. I stopped listening to him. I did listen a little bit here and there, but I just don't like looking that far away, because of course we want to see him now. But anyway, I think on these things periodically. And since I was tonight, I figured I'd record it. I have no idea if I've ever recorded that dream. I don't know why. Yeah. God is so fun. I love it when he gives me dreams. Visions. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Merry Christmas to anybody that may hear this.